Disney Nature proudly presents the next great Earth Day adventure. African Cats.
You know what I felt like the one thing that was really missing from African Cats?
What?
Was Hans Zimmer doing the score. I mean, the whole thing was like, it was like a lolcat Star Wars for me.
What the hell?
I don't know how you came to that with this.
Well,
but
no, maybe not lolcats.
you
but
just got lolcats on the brain.
well, that might be possible. But just the fact that you've got all these lions and tigers and Samuel L. Jackson going, Jesus, some shit is about to go down.
I tell you what, man. I was watching this movie and I was like, you know what? Fuck the Lion King. You ain't got to put in a bunch of talking animals and animation and songs. Just show some real life lions and cheetahs and throw in Samuel Jackson, some dramatic music, and that's an adventure for you.
Mm-hmm. I was looking at this, like, man, this is like the projects of the jungle. It's like there's not too many places to move from, but wherever you go, there's nothing but assholes and people trying to fuck up your shit, take your family away. You know, not only take them away, but kill them.
And it is divided up like a city. It's like there's the north side on the north side of the river. Yeah, it's like as far as they didn't do like little Jersey Shore things. You know, it's like it's like with Fang. Wow,
there's definitely a Tupac Biggie Smalls rivalry going on between the two, and in the middle somewhere, I guess you have what
the crocodiles.
What would be the crocodiles? Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. You got lions versus crocodiles. What more do I have to say to get you to go see this movie?
It's more lions versus cheetah versus hyenas versus crocodiles.
Yeah,
but there are many factions vying for the crown of I don't know.
It's like alive. Shakespeare almost. Except Lion King already ripped off Hamlet.
I can't help but feel that it seems likely that things that were actually happening weren't quite as dramatic as perhaps they were edited to seem here. But that would be right and fitting with Disney's classic style of doing these type of documentaries.
It fooled my ass because I was going right along with it. I was like, man, this shit is really going down the way they're showing it to me because, wow, thank God for editing. I was like, man, what these guys could do for Tarantino, you know, if he allowed to have like this editor work on his movies. I mean, they could actually put together some kind of coherent story sometimes.
Oh, I know. I mean, the thing is, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, you know what? Instead of me sitting here, the people at IMAX need to sit here. So I'm like, when you guys do your nature films, it needs to be more of this shit right here. Because, you know, you're there on the savannah, it's beautiful, but you get to watch and learn and be entertained and on the edge of your seat. And some of it's heartbreaking, too.
And this one is odd because this is the fourth, I think, from Disney Nature?
I think it is,
I think theatrical release, because there's that flamingos one we never got to see.
Man, flamingos don't eat nothing. That's, you know, all flamingos are good for is opening Miami Vice.
Yeah. That's true.
And I don't go that way, so.
And being on people's front yards.
Yeah, exactly. Replacing lawn jockeys.
But this is probably the first one that actually has a plot. I mean, it actually does.
Yeah.
There is a whole story. And this is what I kind of liked about this the best, as opposed to those others. While they may have been pretty to look at, they were very simple and there was no real story to follow. It was just like a documentary minus much information.
Yeah.
And this time they're like, okay, we're going to give you some information and we're going to actually really anthropomorphize all these lions, give them personalities, give them names, and set up the whole story on top of, you know, their instinct and their what's going on with their pride and male dominance, alpha dominance of the species. Make it into a story that anybody can understand, really.
Yeah.
I mean, how much of it actually did happen? I don't know. Maybe not all of it, maybe all of it, but it doesn't really matter because it's a very entertaining film that does tell you a lot about the way lions actually behave.
It's informative, but also like say it didn't happen the way they did. How creative is it that they made a story out of just the footage that they had and turned it into something so dramatic?
No, you're right, because, the thing is, the good job that this film does is that it really does put you in there to where I wasn't even really questioning it. I mean, there was a little part of me that was like, did this? No, but, you know, they have the footage there. They're showing it to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything that they're describing, at least everything that, you know, Samuel Jackson is describing is pretty much what's on the screen. Now, you can interpret it any different way you want. I mean, maybe the lions didn't have to be brothers, or, you know, maybe they could be distant relatives. Who knows? You'll just never fucking know about that.
That's true.
I don't even know how they know this
instead
shit.
of brothers.
Yeah,
There's a prequel in the works.
I know. It's a whole family rivalry.
Just redefine everything that happens. But even so, could
Who's
you see
fucking
that if you took Samuel L. Jackson's voice out of that entirely and you had all that footage to work with, you could have created an entirely different story if you wanted to by laying down any dialogue you wanted on top of it. You know, I mean, it may not have seemed like plausible, but I guarantee guarantee you can come up with a different story. But the story that there is here follows mainly two lion families and one cheetah family. It's a young lion cub named Mara being raised by her mother Layla. And the king of their pride, Fang, who's kind of a douche
and a big pussy.
Yeah, well,
the story of the Cowardly Lion,
I know,
his origins.
Well, he's got his Fang actually hanging from like a nerve thread out of his mouth the whole time, and you're like, stop showing close-ups of the lion.
You want to fucking grab it and yank it?
I dare you.
The whole time.
Good luck with that. Meanwhile, on the other side of the river, guarded by the crocodiles, is what was
collie.
His name? Collie.
Yeah.
And his
Collie and his four sons.
Four badass sons.
Yeah, exactly.
Who are just
badass.
dying to come over there and impregnate some females.
Yeah.
To
There's
take
like
over.
reservoir shots of these guys together. Like every time they have the opportunity to be on screen, it's like a reservoir shot.
The family bonds between these ruthless fighters are very strong. But there is also fierce rivalry between them. They all want the crown. But Kali is their father, and he lets them know that he is still king. They are the most powerful force in the land.
Meanwhile, in a largely disconnected story, is a mother cheetah named Cheetah. And now, cheetahs don't grow up in prides. They're not really pack-oriented. So, apparently, she had a one-night stand with some other dude cheetah at some point, and she's raising her 5 kids by herself. She's not getting any assistance from the government, of course, because, she's obviously just a slacker trying to live off the savanna taxes of other more successful prides.
Yeah, no, wait. Now, she's a struggling single mom trying to do the best she can.
Yeah, well, that's what I think, too. But, obviously not everyone in the African savannah feels that way.
I thought God got her pregnant for a little while because I'm like, wow, they're not talking about anything about this deadbeat dad. She just happened to be pregnant.
Well, it is a Disney film. So.
well, at least they can make him Jedi or something. I don't know.
It's an interesting dichotomy because the way the lions work with the pride, all the females band together to form a group that protects the young and does all the hunting. Where cheetahs are solitary, so her having the 5 cubs, that puts her at a major disadvantage.
Yeah.
And trying to protect them all and get food for them and keep the predators away.
And I got to be honest, in this film, I was much more interested in her story than I was in the lion's story because she always seemed like she had the most amount of danger at any given time.
She did.
And you had to hand it to her as one badass cheetah. I mean, she was like holding off like entire hordes of hyenas and all kinds of shit.
Even lions. A couple lions come around and she
well,
finds a way. Like they're like, these lions weigh 5 times her size.
Yeah,
if she get into a fight, she will not win.
And she tricks them because she's too smart for them.
And the thing is, which you're leaving out, which is she's even getting attacked by her own species, which is the cheetah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Herself, like 3 cheetahs, they come around, looking to start some shit. Which apparently they gave me, they at least the film kind of gave me the idea that I don't know. I guess when they attack smaller cubs, cheetah cubs, that I don't know if they actually like just all out kill them or if they actually like eat them as well.
They do both.
Yeah. I mean, the idea is being just like with the lions. It's like they tend to. It's a a genetic thing. They're like, I don't want anybody else's DNA spreading around with these other cheetah cubs, so I'm going to kill these cubs, and then I will fuck the lion or the cheetah.
But I will kill them and eat them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, why not? You want to don't leave food just lying around.
Fucking cannibals.
But you know what? That mother cheetah should have known better because I saw there were cheetah tags for that other gang all around that area. She shouldn't have ever wanted in there.
Well, the thing is that makes them even cooler is just their speed. It's just like, okay, you just know that they're going to be all right at times. That's when the other cheetahs come into play. But, I mean, the whole time, she didn't worry me so much because she knew, she had tactics of, eluding intruders somewhere else, tricking them.
Well, it was good to see that, but there was also like early on with the very first time she breaks out, Samuel Jackson lets you know it's like these are the fastest animals on land, but only for 30 seconds.
Yeah, I did not know that. I thought that
I knew that they get they can run fast, but they get exhausted.
I thought they were always taking like road trips. And
that's right. Having races.
Look, there goes the cheetah. It's right outside the window.
Racing with the Flash every day.
Well, it's just like they let you know that like every time they go on that hunt, it's life. There's so much riding on it.
Yeah.
And if they can't bring that antelope down within that 30 seconds, they're too tired and it's gone and nobody eats.
They're like those jet cars people set up in the desert, you know?
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
They're like, you got that one go, and after that, it's going to be like a week before you can refuel it and get it all set up again.
But I mean, just through things like that, they manage to keep the tension up. They keep you on your toes the entire time.
Well, they do that, and they keep the factor alive, too, because, I mean, that's anybody going to see this film who has somewhat of a heart, that's all they're going to do throughout this whole damn movie. Majority of the time, just looking at the cubs, all the cubs on their babies, and just going,
they're so sweet. Oh
it just makes you want to run out there and just like grab one of them, hold them, give them the biggest hug you can, and more than likely your face will be torn apart, you'll be ripped to shreds,
even by the cubs.
Your head and your genitals will be from the north and the south. You know.
Well, I like how even sometimes the male lions, they look cute, like you would just love to like just come and rub their tummies and rub your fingers through their manes, and they probably like it for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
They probably really love it and just playing with you, just swap your face off.
Well, that's the thing about the film, because I mean they really do. I mean they do capture moments where you honestly can see the personality of these lions and the cheetah. Like the biggest one was Fang, because whenever those other lions came to start shit with him, boy, that guy, like, he turned into the cowardly lion. Like, put him up. And then as soon as the big lions come to, I think he jumped through a plate glass window as soon as they came.
Yeah,
but then you notice, like, wow, the lionesses do every fucking thing.
They do.
Boy, you talk about feeling bad for women. I mean, just the oppression of women in the lion community. It's like, wow, they do everything. They hunt. They even fight off. Even when Fang, who's supposed to protect.
Yeah, he just takes off.
He fucking jets. And you see the lions.
Sorry, motherfucker.
And there's a great scene with the lions. They just fucking take charge. Especially the weakest one, who I guess was really married to Fang.
Well, they're all married to Fang.
Yeah,
she seemed like she was like the main one. But Layla, who is like
lions are
been
Mormons,
beaten down so many times, you see her like struggling to fight off these lions who, you know, she knows that they're going to kill her cub, you know. And it
lions
really gets you into it.
Lions are all polygamist. It's like one dude, lots of bitches. So in other words,
a male lion's got it fucking made.
Yeah,
I mean,
until another male lion comes along.
Well, I mean, he's got to fight for his shit. But,
have that. Your shit is that good. Yeah, okay, I can see why you might need to fight for it.
But yeah, you're right, Coach. You watch all the female lions, you know, do all the hunting. And he just comes up out of nowhere and then takes the meat. Like they say, they have to eat fast, so he doesn't take it all from them. And then when they need him, he like, I'm out of here.
This ain't my job. You bitches can handle this.
Had the noise.
It's true. They do everything. They raise the kids. They do the hunting. I was unclear what his job was, except to like defend that awesome place he's got, doing nothing from other guys who want that job.
All Fang was missing was a wife beater shirt and a spaghetti stain on it.
Right?
Layla!
But he loves me. I know he does. He doesn't mean to be like that.
But man, and just that whole element of the crocodile-filled river.
Yeah.
They
made that frightening.
They did. They really did. Especially when you had a couple of lines they had to cross. It was just like holy shit. It's like normally I'd be like, oh, this is going to be badass. I can't wait to see a crocodile eat a lion. But you get so invested in these lions personally that you don't want to see it happen. It's like, no, you got to make it.
And you see the fear. You see the fear that these lions have when they have no choice but to cross. You know, because they're either there's a point where they basically have to cross, and if they don't, they're eventually going to get wiped out by whoever's hanging out on the other side. So they have no choice but to cross. And you see the fear in their eyes. It's like, okay, we know it's in here, but we have no choice. Man, are we fucked? You know, and it's amazing to watch that.
It's funny. The whole thing is very well edited together. It's got a great musical score that really is like really gets you into it. Every animal and each character, as it were, has their own leitmotif. Even that goes with them. You're like, oh shit, it's a crocodile music. We're fucked. Let's get the hell out of here. I mean, it's really well filmed. There's gorgeous cinematography. I mean, this is all in HD. So see it in a decent theater that actually has a digital projector, because it looks gorgeous.
That's one of the things I was really like blown away by, because like seeing that last nature film on IMAX 3D, where I was like, wow, this looks gorgeous. This looked even better. Actually, I was really surprised. But the one, I know we're hitting on all the good stuff, but the one I guess the one I won't say is the worst thing about it, but I have to admit, Samuel L. Jackson got a little carried away sometimes with his narration. Where I understood, I was like, I know this is for kids, but. Man, dude, I was expecting him to go into like Star Wars dialogue for a little bit because he really did. It did seem like Mace Windu was narrating this whole story.
When Kali was like totally had like a fang up against the wall and was doing that whole Wrath of God speech, that was a little too much. You know, I was like, I thought, dude, come on, really? I don't think the lion's saying that. They're not obviously not even Christian. They're Mormon lions. That much is clear.
Well, that was just some fucked up shit he liked to say to people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But you know what? I can't deny what you're saying, but I like that even more.
Yeah.
I like that.
I mean, I forgave it. I mean, it wasn't even anything to forgive, but you're right. You know, it did remind me, this is intended for kids.
Yeah,
I mean,
it made
really
me laugh every time he got really extreme about it.
Yeah,
I just laughed. I was like, this is funny.
Well, I think
it's
about
enjoyable.
we talk about like watching these nature documentaries on TV, on cable, on the weekends and stuff. And there's been so many that have been about the migration of the wildebeest and the different animals that take them down. But this is the first one I've seen in a while that it was like, is that same subject, but from a different angle, and all the things they did differently, the dramatic music, Samuel Jackson's dramatic narration, as opposed to Morgan Freeman, who just kind of talks about him like this.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that Samuel Jackson was into it.
He was way into it.
I was just like, you know what? They've put a whole new spin on this kind of thing I've seen so often that I can't believe how much I'm loving this.
He did everything but say, "Oh shit, what's gonna happen?"
I was waiting for him to tell those cubs, English, do you speak it?
Man, I tell you,
he should have appeared and just had a lion jump out of nowhere.
You don't even know how badly you hate hyenas until Samuel L. Jackson gets a tone about them coming in.
I tell you what, man, the hyenas in this were way scarier than they were in The Lion King.
Yeah, they were.
I mean, just watching real hyenas and that laugh they got, it just gave you chills. Like, fuck.
And the way they set it up, which was like an Evil Dead moment for me, where they had this huge creepy moon, like, you know, you see the sun, this huge red sun, like, start to go down, and then this huge creepy moon. I was like, what the hell is going on here? I was waiting for Ash to like pull back, and you see Ash next to his car. You know, like, wow, but it was awesome. But the mood they got you in, where, you know, but that's the thing, like, it sets up the mood perfectly enough to where you don't need to see really the violence a lot of times, which I was curious. Like, I knew it was a kid's film, but I was like, wow, how are they going to go by cutting this when, you know, you see the animals take down their prey, or, you know, you see harm get done to the little cubs, you know? But I thought they did a good enough job to where just not seeing it really played with your head.
Yeah, they did a good job of cutting away before it got graphic, and yet you still got that sense of closure.
Yeah, right.
It wasn't like, oh, I wanted to see it. It's like, well, they described it good enough, and I feel satisfied.
Even though there's a part of me that really wanted to go on YouTube and like actually see how they like rip these animals to shreds. Believe me, I was still looking for it.
It's funny, yeah, because it is appropriate for all ages, most definitely, and yet the dramatic areas of it were just what's left up to your imagination is scary enough that the littler kids might not really like it too much, because it really makes you love all these creatures, and then some of them die, or some of them have other really bad shit happen to them, and then there's Fang, who is never seen again. I love that.
He went to Oz.
He did. He went to go look for Dorothy. I'll fight you with my paw tied behind my back.
I tell you, one of the cruelest moments in this whole thing was when Kali just flipped a turtle on his back.
I know, what was that about?
I was like, man, that guy's a dick.
I was waiting for that turtle to start talking like Woody Allen.
I loved it. It's like he kept trying to bite through the shell, and when he couldn't get it through, he just flipped it on his back.
Oh my!
I know, they see the turtle sit there like just try to get up, and then it stops and just goes, fuck!
not too hard. Not too hard.
But anyway, you know what? It was a lot of fun. It was a lot better than I expected it to be. Even if it had been one of those more straight Morgan Freeman documentaries. I mean, shit, it's about big cats, so I was going to like it, obviously, regardless. But it's a lot of fun. I thought its one downside y'all didn't bring up was that I thought 90 minutes is a little long. It did not need to be as long as that. You could have made it into an episode of a television show at an hour, and it would have been perfect. As it was, the last 20 minutes or so was starting to drag for me. I was like, okay, we get the point. Let's move this along. But it's still a lot of fun. It's the type of documentary that I hope Disney starts doing more of. Like, if you're not going to be filling it up with data, at least give us a story, something that's entertaining to watch, other than just ooh and ahhing over the beautiful photography. So I'm going to give this a low full price.
You know what? What you say about that last 20 minutes, for me, it was more like the last 10.
Okay.
Like at an hour and 20 minutes, I was like, okay, now I'm ready for this to wrap up. And still had another 10 to go. But it's like, all right, I'm not going to quibble too much about that. Still, you know what? I think maybe of the movies we saw this week, this one that I almost blew off was I thought was maybe the best one. It entertained in such a way that these haven't in a long time, and I would encourage more of them. So I say for just a regular full price.
Yeah, for a kid or just somebody that doesn't have anything to do, go see it. I mean, yeah, it was definitely. I feel safe giving it a full price because movies like these, I tend to go, it's great to see it on the big screen, but if it were on TV, it'd be just as good.
Yeah.
But the story-wise, what they did with it, and as far as just making it compelling and interesting enough for kids and grown adults, full price. Yeah. So
it's African cats, not Africant cats.
Yes. God damn you!
I know. I'm getting numb to them now.
I read the whole review without one. You have to give me that.
Is there a water-filled crocodile pit we can throw this guy?
They just throw it back.
Experience the incredible true story and extraordinary adventures of two families striving to make a home in the wildest place on earth. African cats.